Hey guys, it's Babypowder, and I'm coming to you with another one of my amazing multi-box gold guides where I show you how easy it is to make lots of gold with less effort and without a group. Now today I'm actually going back and taking a look at one of our farms we've already covered, but showing you guys how to set it up for an 8-man group. And we'll go ahead and go over the 5-man spots again and everything because, you know, over time I've done some tweaking and stuff like that. Sort of like I did with the Primal Fire farm as I redid that one. And eventually, you know, like I mentioned in that video, I will be going back and doing, you know, a lot of these, redoing them just so we can have another look at them. And also, you know, so you can see the difference if you are running an 8-man group. Because honestly, going up to 8-man from 5-man, it's a big game changer. Makes a lot of these farms a lot easier. And, you know, of course you get a lot more loot because you got 3 more, you know, toons that are actually looting. But also just with spawning, you know, mobs and, you know, a lot of them you don't have to move anymore and stuff like that. It just makes life so much simpler. But anyway, guys, today we're going to take another look at the Volatile water farm, seeing that volatiles seem to be going up on some realms. They're still really low on some, but still they're a really fast seller. And now with doing it as 8-man, it's so lazy, and you can actually, you know, get more Volatile water than fire from the old Volatile Fire farm, whereas it used to be different. With a 5-man group you would get so much more fire than water, so that's why I always loved that farm. But now this is becoming one of my favorite farms as an 8-man group. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into it and see how it's done. Alright guys, so here we are, and if you haven't seen the first one, this is where we're located. It is right outside of where you actually come into the zone at in Twilight Highlands. It's right here where the little, you know, waterway is kind of at its biggest before it goes into the actual sea or whatever. But like if you're Horde, you actually zone in right here after you take the portal in your, you know, Ogrimmar or wherever, and then for Alliance you like portal in right here and you just fly up right here. Okay, so sort of just like the, you know, 5-man farm video, your, you know, first group is set up the same way. It's kind of just like a little like triangle or pyramid, except for, you know, you don't have anybody like in the middle here. And your 8-man group, they are actually just right at the end here. Let's see, we got one right down here actually, and as you can see, I know it's kind of small, and actually my face is covered. Let me go and pull this one up here. But as you can see, they're just right here. And I actually decided to, I've tried it multiple ways. And actually, I think the last time I did on stream, I even put one kind of in the middle here. But I, you know, tried it with just stacking them all in one spot right here on the end, because that seems where there, you know, there's a lot of mobs kind of like in clear. They're in a small area there. So you're able to actually probably loot more mobs with your potatoes this way, which will, you know, give you more loot. So since it does actually work still, and you don't actually have to move your, you know, main, you know, with most farms I've actually been swapping between potatoes and actually going and looting on each one for, like, you know, blues and epics, because they'll stay on the mobs for up to 30 minutes. And so I don't have to take a 5-minute break at the 25-minute mark. I've actually been just swapping which toon loots, and actually that makes it easier too with vendoring, because, you know, it's, less times you have to vendor because it's kind of evening out the loot. But with this one, with it being out in Twilight Highlands, there's not really that many like blues and epics that you can really get that are really hold a lot of value. So it didn't really seem like it was worth it to do it for this one. Now, if I was out in Mount Hydro and it's got all those blues and stuff like that, maybe, but not with this one. So yeah, so I just stack them and I only fly around one toon. So yeah, I'd still consider this one main because that's the only one flying around, the only one I'm putting push and treasure finding. Now it might still, since you're not moving and everything, you probably can still get more value if you than what the actual potion costs if it's not too pricey, if you put a potion on every potato. But I just feel like it's not worth the time of even going around to each window and clicking on it and having them take the potion. Now if you put it on a keybind, then, you know, whatever, you push one button and then, you know, you got your potion on. But that's risky because you might accidentally hit the button and use it at a wrong farm or something. But anyway, guys, that is the setup. So let's go ahead and go back to our main one here, and we'll take down the maps. and I'll actually show you guys, you know, first us killing the mobs. We actually had, it was over 4,000 mobs, almost 5,000 mobs killed in the hour. With just the 5-man group though, it was almost 4,000 mobs itself. So that's, you know, probably a lot more, one, because we're not having to run a route. Now with the 5-man group that I, you know, set up for that video, if you watch that one, which if you want to go back and look at that one, I'll put that one at the top of the screen. You know, you can go check it out. But I have made some tweaks to the 5-man group. So before you do that, you know, pay attention to what I'm about to show you as far as the first actual potato in their spot. It's going to be a little bit different. But as you see here, we are just sitting still. We're just killing the mobs. We don't have to run. We are missing these mobs here. So I mean, if you wanted to run, you could, but I feel like you get more kills just being able to, you know, by staying still, because that's less, you know, mobs you're missing, because you could be missing mobs on your path, you know, and not killing. You're constantly killing by sitting still. So that's helping actually with your mob count. And my high respawn has reset because I actually got disconnected as I was going over and calculating everything up. But as you see, we are, you know, killing mobs constantly. We don't have to move. So yeah, don't even worry about those mobs. That's actually, you know, faster time that you finish your loot phase anyway. So it's faster time that you get back to actually, you know, killing mobs. So that actually, you know, saves you time and gives you more loot also. Because if you take too long looting, things are just despawning anyway, and it's actually costing you loot in the long run. Alright, so anyway, so we finished our killing phase. We're about to start our looting phase. Let's go ahead and go to our first potato. And as I said, you know, if you are 5-man farming, you're going to go back and watch that video, make sure you pay attention to this one right here, because this one is a little bit different. Now in my 5-man farm video, I actually mentioned that, you know, you can stack them right here on this pebble here, so that way you can hit all these mobs. But as you see, we're actually hitting it with where we've put this one here on triangle. So it's actually better that you put moon right here, which is the first potato. But yeah, you put it right here beside this mud pile here, and that way they can hit this mob right here and everything in between. So that way, again, you do not have to move your main. That's the one thing we want to do. We want to make sure we are stationary, so we're killing more mobs, because we do not actually have to stop and not be hitting anything while we're running from spot to spot. Alright, so that's our first potato. We have adjusted them by putting them by this pile instead of on the actual rocks. Okay, so our second one, I think we've actually moved this one up as well, because I think in the first one they were kind of near that pile, or mud pile or whatever, so they're actually hitting the ones in the corner and stuff too. But we can actually skip that one, and we are actually putting them right beside these 3 rocks right here, and this way they are definitely hitting these over here, and they're hitting all these other ones around here too. So yeah, that actually makes it a lot better. We're actually able to hit every single one of these mobs here. Now, it does seem like we are possibly missing this one, but that's okay. Like I said, we're missing 1 or 2 here everywhere, but it's okay because we are still getting the respawns without having to move. Now square, here's our second one. It's right here, kind of right below this 3 rock formation, kind of in the middle of this area right here, and we are able to hit all these mobs here. Every now and then we do hit this one, but sometimes we miss it as well. So yeah, you don't get too much loot from that spot, but that's okay. As you see, we've been missing, you know, the other one in the corner as well. And then this one is still the same for the 5-man group. We have it right here between these 2 down trees right here, so that makes that one easy to find as well. Now for our other one, like I said, it's way back here. In case you didn't recognize where the spot was when I was showing you on the map, is way back here, right here, and there usually is actually a whole bunch of mobs around here. We were killing some mobs, so they're probably down right now and they haven't respawned, but there's a whole bunch of mobs just stacked all around here, and that's why I thought it was best just to stack them right there, because when we actually do stack one here or in the middle over here to kill these ones, it's possibly only looting, you know, 2 mob packs, whereas this one down here, they're all looting a whole bunch of mob packs. So that's what, you know, yeah, okay, you might be able to initially kill more mobs total, but you're actually giving your potatoes more loot by stacking them there at the end. So that's what the goal is, because you want more loot. So that's why I wanted to, see if that would work, and it did. So that's what we're actually going to go with for now on. But yeah, guys, it was a good turnout. I mean, we got tons and tons of volatiles. Like I said, some realms, they're still low. You might not want to do them, but if you want some fast gold, it still might be worth it. If they're too low, double check too. Make sure that somebody's not just posting, 5 or 10 or something really low to really bring that price down so that they can maybe come back and buy them. I have seen that happen. They'll try to post it really low and, try to catch somebody not paying attention and just using TSM to post. And that way they can snag all your volatiles at a really low price. So you might just be, if you see that, just buy those out and add them to what you already have to post yours at the regular price, or at least a decent price. Which with how many we got, mine showing us posting at 34 gold. That's not bad. I mean, yeah, they've posted at a lot more than that in the past, but things are really low right now, and that's not a bad amount of quick gold, because these things still do sell pretty fast. So that's 6,800 per stack, and we've got 4 stacks on this toon, and almost about half another one. So yeah, we've got plenty of gold there. You also, with the potion of treasure finding, we get the volatile earth, air, the fire, the volatile life. So make sure you're using your potion of treasure finding. You get raw gold from the little lock boxes. We've got over 838, or we got 838 ember silk cloth, and we get things like pyrite ore and elementium ore as well, which you see over here. So yeah, definitely guys, come do this one if you aren't aware of it yet. If you are getting into 8-man boxing and you weren't sure how to set it up, here is the way I would go about doing it. All right guys, so to conclude the farm on the Volatile Water for the 8-man, definitely a lot better than doing it as a 5-man. And like I said, I do plan on going out and redoing a lot of these. As I feel like it was time. This one's gotten a lot older, and I have repositioned that. One, possibly even 2 potatoes does show you how to actually position if you have upgrade to 8, which I feel like if your PC can handle it, that is probably the best route. Because it's a lot simpler. You can sit still pretty much on every farm, and you get more loot. So it's like an investment. Per account you add, the more you get out of it. Anyway guys, let's go and bring up our spreadsheet and take a look at what we got. So for Volatile Waters, we got a total of 2,654. Of course, our first potato is going to have the most because they actually are the only ones that flew around. Now, I did actually fly all my potatoes around at the end, which actually gave me the camel haunch on one of my potatoes. But I didn't bother stopping at the 5-minute mark or swapping through them. Once I hit 25 minutes, I didn't take the 5 minutes to fly them all around. Just don't feel like the blues and epics and stuff are worth it out here. Now we also did, as far as gear, we got the Icebone Hardbook from the 3-man group, and that was without flying anybody around, of course. So I think they're valued somewhere around 13 to 15,000, something like that. And I do know the camel haunch sells. Takes a while to sell. It's pretty slow seller, but the Icebone Hardbook, I'm not sure about that one. It's a like epic robe. But anyway, guys, as far as actually just the 5-man group, just with the help of the other toons sitting in that spot, we got 1,855 Volatile Waters. That is actually over 500 more Volatile Waters for that 5-man group than what we got with doing it as a 5-man farm. So that shows you how much more beneficial it is compared to when you have to run a route and everything, because they're pretty much in the same spots, but they're actually not having to run and everything. So definitely a lot more volatiles for being able to cover the extra spot. So you should actually be able to come out with that same number too if you just only have 6 toons, because really you're only covering 1 extra spot, honestly. But anyway guys, as far as lot boxes, we only got 4 mobs killed. We got 4,747 mobs killed, and we have raw gold. We have 5,450 raw gold. Other volatiles and pyrite and the cloth, Of course, only going to be from the one toon because that was the only one I put the potion of treasure finding on. Like I said, if you can get the potion of treasure finding cheap enough, it might even be worth it putting it on your potatoes, and they might still be able to reap the benefits. I probably could have as well, but I just didn't want to take the time of, you know, having each one of them drink it before I started, or putting it on a keybind, because then too, if you put it on a keybind, yeah, it's simple one button, but you might accidentally hit that button at another farm and waste, you know, how many potions of treasure finding? It'd be 8 in my case. But anyway, guys, we got 179 of the other volatiles. That's like earth, life, and air and all that stuff added together. Pyrite ore, we got 67, and cloth, we got 5,273. Now, elementing ore, of course, we had that too. I just didn't feel like it was worth adding it in here. But yeah, guys, so that is our totals. Definitely a lot better. You know, like I said, with the 5-man group making over 500 more volatile waters alone than what they would just as a 5-man group. Like I said, you should be able to come out with that same, you know, result if you just have a 6-man group, because you only have to cover one extra spot. But of course, with having the 2 extra potatoes, we actually, you know, get, looks like over 500 more volatile waters just from them looting in that one spot. So that's nice. Plus, you know, another extra 5, you know, over 800, almost 900 raw gold from them as well. So that's not bad either. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys like these whole, you know, me redoing these and showing you how to do it as 8-man, and still, you know, showing you guys how to do it as 5-man, because I still feel like 5-man groups are more common for doing these type of farms. But anyway, guys, that's about all I have. If you like the video, go ahead and make sure you hit that thumbs up down below. Definitely helps out. Also, don't forget to check out the links down below. We have links for Twitch where I stream. Also, we have links for Facebook and Twitter where you can also get notified when I'm either streaming or I'm coming out with a video. That's about all I have. This is Babypowder. Peace. I'm out.